Okay, I started out on Mother's Day being awoken by a jet engine noise off the lanai about 200 yards on the other side of the road I live on. So I walked out on the lanai and saw the vapors from the jet coming out of the ground, then eventually steam, and then initial eruption with the flames and rocks flying. And then so from that point on, the fissure or vent, which was called number 17, started progressing downward and a little ways uphill from where I live along the side of the road. And it was somewhat like a propane tube that had jets with flames would come out of each one, the vents, and then it was capped off at the end. And then sometimes that end port would blow out and vapors and rocks and mushroom clouds would fly out of that. And then so from that point for up until this happened, myself and various other people stayed around the site to keep the house from burning down, because these vents were launching lava bombs all over the area, and several of them were hitting the rooftop, getting in between the sheet metal and the ceiling and the purlins and setting the house on fire. So we were putting those fires out as they happened, and mostly it was a big event, front row seats to view lava for several people who all helped out. I wasn't the only one here doing this. One night the SO2 got so heavy that everyone had to leave. We had a fire at the Johanna house, went down there and put it out, and on my way back a big cloud swept in, and I took one inhale and there was no air in it. It's like, we got to get out of here. So we drove out of there. It happened during the daytime the next day, but for the most part someone was always there putting out these fires. The day this happened, the lava bombs had waned to a point where they weren't even really happening. They weren't hitting the house. They were still shooting, but they were going in other directions. There was one mean, nasty vent down low that had been a problem the whole time, and it shot up a lava bomb. Instead of straight up, it shot it in a horizontal direction right between the roof and the handrail of the lanai, and it hit me as I was talking on the phone in my ankle, snapped my leg in half to where my ankle and foot and my leg were a hinge. And so it knocked me down onto the couch, which caught on fire from the flaming rock. I jumped off onto the floor trying to hold my leg together. My friend was on the roof next to me, and I said, we got to get out of here. We got to get out of here. She grabbed me by my right leg, dragged me down 5 flights of stairs to the ground, got her truck, called 911 and drove us back toward the emergency vehicles, and they met us halfway. The fire department initially helped me get out of the car. The ambulance came, put me in the ambulance, try to stabilize things as good as possible, brought me here, and so they've been taking care of me ever since.
Great. I want to backtrack just before the injury.
Okay.
Because you just gave us a little taste of it. As a spectator, how spectacular was it to have that front row seat?
Oh, it was incredible. I mean, it was just an event of a lifetime. Every aspect of the lava was there, the sounds, the sights, the flowing lava, the fissures, it was all happening at one time. There were several people that had access, were coming over and watching it from that point.
Kind of a party.
It was, yeah, it was fun.
Who else was there when it happened?
Just my friend. She's my friend now. It's actually my ex-wife, but she's my friend. now. We've become friends since then. Yeah.
So, no, I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned that the lava bombs had hit your house, it would count on fire. Obviously, you'd seen them, and they were bombarding your house, so to speak. Talk about your thoughts of your own safety concerns you might have had because you were so close.
Well, we all have been around this activity before, and so we're not unaccustomed to. We know how lava, to some degree, how slow it moves. Right, you can crawl away from. So there's no real fear of the lava. The projectiles, there's a fear, but when you hear, they don't just happen. There's an explosion and then they happen. So when you hear an explosion, you're looking up, and they're typically way up there, and they're flying. So the wind, usually they're heavy, and then they get lighter as they fizzle out, and the wind will catch them, much like a golf ball. It'll push it away. And then a lot of times they'll hit the ground, but it's like catching a football or a baseball when you're on the run. You know how you got to kind of watch it, and instead of catching it, you don't catch it. You let it fall away from you.
Howard knows about that.
Yeah, that's right.
And then there's all kinds of places that you can hide and get away from it too. So it wasn't as brave or whatever you might think.
You know,
What does it feel like to be hit by lava? Was it solid, liquid, or?
It was the most forceful impact I've ever had in my body in my life. I've been hit by big waves and various things. That was just incredibly powerful and hot. It burnt too, yeah.
more of a solid or a liquid feel?
It was a solid, yeah. A hot solid.
And I gather, was there a lot of pain, or were you in shock at that point?
It was super painful, and I don't know if I was in shock. I just knew I just think about my daughters, and I knew I was up on that roof, and I was in really bad shape. I mean, my leg was in half, my bone was sticking out, there was blood squirting out. I knew that I had to get out of there, and if I couldn't pass out, we just had to get out of there.
Did anyone apply first aid directly to you on the
Yeah,
spot?
she, my friend, she got a sheet and pulled it as tight as she could, and then we had this old wet sheet that our dog had been sleeping on, and so we wrapped that around this, and that's what I held my shoe and my ankle together with my leg. But it's like when we're coming down the stairs, each tread I'd hit, my foot it was really weird, really strange.
Today you're wiggling your toes though, aren't you?
They wiggle, yeah. The doctors did an amazing job. I can't believe they could put it back together. I just wanted to live. I didn't care if they cut my leg off down there or not. And I just can't believe that's there. Yeah.
Excuse me. Do you have any thoughts on the future of Puna, or you living in Puna?
I think that area will be safe for quite some time now, so we're gonna stay. The traffic there won't be hardly any traffic anymore because there are no roads to drive on.
The area was under evacuation order. Why were you there again?
Like I said, the houses there are on a hill, and so we're safe right there. There was really no reason to go. I mean, to me, like things happen every day to people, just in an instant. So it's just an event that was super spectacular that the news wants to cover, and it happened to me. That's all it is. You could get hurt bad just any time.
Based on this happening to you, your recommendation or advice for anybody else who's down there that maybe shouldn't be?
Yeah, if you're not just like anything else. Like if you're leery of going surfing in certain conditions or anything else, don't tempt fate. Don't. Yeah, just be safe. Yeah. But if you feel comfortable and you're aware and you're capable, by all means, it's fun. Yeah.
And I want to ask you a
Thrill of a
question.
lifetime.
Sorry. I noticed your TV's off. You're not watching any of this lava coverage.
No.
You had enough?
I'm good on the lava, yeah.
You mentioned that you were there trying to make sure that your house was okay because of the lava bombs and because of everything that was going on there. After you left, have you heard how your house is doing?
Yeah, it's all good. Yeah, my neighbor's right there. He was as helpful as I was in protecting everything. That seemed like I'm like getting all this credit for things, but he was right there the whole time. So, and my friend too, she was there the whole time. Lots of people helped out. The media was there a few times, helped put some fires out. Yeah.
You mentioned your daughters.
Uh-huh.
You said you were thinking about them when that happened. Obviously, they've seen you since then, and,
Yeah.
and they know that you're okay. What were you thinking? What was the I don't know, the message that you may have said to them after you got through this and they saw you? They worried about you and.
No, they're actually they've been going out in places I don't want them to go. So I think they're scaring me more than I'm scaring them, actually.
Are you going to require any more surgeries?
I'm gonna get this cleaned out and then one more time, and then a flap put over the. I guess there's a lot of tissue's been taken away from the fire and the stuff that couldn't be saved.
But are you told you should be able to walk?
Yeah, like 6 weeks, stay off of it, and then gradual. You know how it goes. You just get an injury, you gotta gradually progress until
You'll
you.
start catching those footballs again.
Yeah.
So when they wheeled you to the hospital, and you had seen how bad your leg was, and you, like you said, it flipped in half.
Yeah.
So when they put you in and you went in for surgery, did you think when you came out that you wouldn't have a foot?
No, actually, the doctor. I don't know if I can say his name. I'll just call him the doctor, but really top-notch guy. Made me real confident that the first night that when I went in that he was gonna fix it all up. Two of the doctors showed up and they give me a lot of confidence.
Have
So
you been in pain now?
Nope, not anymore. Yeah, the staff here has done a tremendous job in helping me out. Smiling faces and lots of care.
All right. And then just for clarification, so they brought you into the emergency room and they just took care of your foot, made sure that you were okay, and then the next day they went into the surgery to make sure everything was still attached.
The first night they put the titanium rod and the nails and screws in, and then cleaned it. Second day cleaned, because there was a lot of lava rock left in there, and you can't get it all out at one time. I think there's a certain limitation to how long you could be under anesthesia, and so there's a point where you just can't do anymore. So
This huge event is going on. Global headlines, unbelievable, spectacular images, and you're that one guy.
I know.
What a trip.
A trip. Yeah. Is this even happening? Is this a bad dream? Yeah.
Well, everybody knows you now.
Oh boy. All right.
You're the most famous Clinton now.
Wow. Take some of the pressure off of Hillary.